There are things about the big beautiful bill, or the one big beautiful bill that Donald Trump leveraged Congress to pass and that he signed into law. There are things about that that I very much appreciate and agree with. But there are other things that I think are quite bad. For one thing, the bill itself represents the worst kind of what they call pork barrel spending, which is a euphemism that refers to bills that tack a bunch of things on, or that have a whole bunch of different subjects all in one bill. And the idea is nobody would vote for any of these single provisions, or not enough people would vote for them to ever pass. But because they're all lumped together into a big bill, nobody wants to not vote for tax cuts, for example. Therefore, the majority of members of the House and the Senate, hold their noses and vote yes on this thing because there's enough that they like in it, even though they hate some of the other stuff. To me, that is symptomatic of one of the main problems with Congress. And I would support an amendment to the Constitution that would make it so that Congress can no longer pork barrel on their bills. In other words, so that Congress can no longer have bills that cover lots and lots of different subjects that are thousands of pages long, as this one was. I think that is really wrong and needs to be fixed. I'm also troubled by $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, which are wonderful, but it's the height of irresponsibility to vote for those tax cuts without corresponding cuts in government spending. And this bill does not have that. It has like 12% of Medicaid cut, supposedly, but that's a very small amount compared to the tax cuts. It does not offset the tax cuts. Proponents of the bill claim a thing called the Laffer curve effect. Laffer was an economist from the 1970s. That effect basically is, if you cut taxes enough, then the economy will boom so much that the total base of revenue that is taxed will be so much bigger that total tax revenues will be bigger anyway, even though you've reduced the rate at which taxes are paid. As much as I would love for that to actually, in actual practice, function that way, it's been shown time and again that there could be a minor Laffer curve effect sometimes, but never enough to offset the amount the taxes are cut. So I wish that President Trump had said, I want $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, and I want $4.5 trillion in federal government cuts at the same time. That would have been something I would be happy to vote for. That I would have been glad to support. As it is, instead of asking for that, President Trump said, I want you to give me $5 trillion of debt ceiling limit increase so that I can spend lots more money like I did in my first term. I am not okay with that. There's lots that President Trump does that I like. I am not in favor of increasing the debt limit. Not for him, not for anybody else. It's not right, and I would not vote to support it.